Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how I managed to grow my YouTube channel to over 1,000 subscribers in about a year. And here you can see that in graph form, so you can see the wonder of over 1,447 subscribers in a year. The graph looks quite nice. Now, obviously, 1,000 subscribers is the sweet spot for getting monetized, and you need to get up to 1,000 subscribers in order to get that sweet cash rolling in. However, that's only one part of the journey, and also getting 1,000 subscribers is surprisingly difficult. The thing that I found with YouTube is that you'll notice there are sort of parts where you have exponential growth. I currently have 48,000 subscribers on my main channel, and that growth has taken a few years, but in the last year I managed to get about 20,000 subscribers in about a year, so obviously significantly more than my gameplay channel. But I've actually learned some new things with the gaming channel because it's an entirely different setup. Obviously, I'm creating content that people aren't searching for naturally, whereas usually when I'm creating content on, let's say, a mouse, a microphone, a gaming headset, a keyboard or whatever, people are looking for those things, are actively searching for them in Google. But my gameplay channel is more about just funny gameplay that I've created. There are, however, some tips and tricks videos in there, but not as many as I could produce or maybe want to produce. Time is the enemy with all these things. But the journey to 1,447 subscribers will hopefully be a useful insight into how I've done it, and it will hopefully help you as well. The first thing I want to talk about is shorts. I've done a video previously on why I hate shorts, but they're pretty essential, and this here, as you can see, is a perfect example of why. This is a short video that I did, which is essentially a very small clip. You can see it's 20 seconds long, and it's in that portrait format that shorts require, and those appear on the shorts shelf on mobile. And if someone subscribes to you, they will see more of your shorts in future, but also they are the sort of people that will get recommended shorts. And shorts are really easy because you just flick through them. The vertical videos, you can just keep flicking through them really quickly. And the thing that I found is the thing to do with shorts, if you want to replicate what I'm doing and try and get as many subscribers as you can, is to keep bashing out as many as possible. It's a real shotgun effect, or a machine gun if you like, basically putting out loads of shorts. I probably do about 10 a week minimum, and they are very short videos, under 60 seconds, in 1080 by 1920 instead of 1920 by 1080 in terms of the vertical format, and I'll show you how I edit those a bit later on, and then they're uploaded. Now the way I do this is I capture footage and I upload it in the normal format, so I usually do a 10-minute video of my gameplay, and then I also take what I think are the most interesting parts of that and I cut them into shorts and I upload them separately, and I obviously tag it all up. This is from Dying Light 2, this video in particular. It has 346,000 views, but what you'll see that's interesting about it, if you look closely, is that initially it did nothing at all for quite some time. In fact, the first several days, you can see that it was about 20 days or something into being published before it actually started doing anything, and then suddenly it shot up, and it kept going up. And it's still doing it numbers now, and it's got me 250 subscribers. It's actually got quite a bit of it. It's actually quite a silly video. It's about how there's a gun in Dying Light 2, and there aren't actually any guns in Dying Light 2. If you played that game, you know that. There aren't really any guns. There are some Easter egg ones, but you can't buy guns, you can't craft guns. But my friend found a gun that is found a melee weapon that is basically a gun where you're holding the barrel and then you hit zombies with it. It was stupid and it was funny and it made me laugh, and I thought I'll use that, and then I titled it, you could say it was a bit clickbaity, there's a gun in Dying Light 2. It wasn't intentionally clickbaity, but it is a little bit. However, what I think is that people don't really watch shorts for their titles anyway. It's very different to a normal video where the key is, obviously, you've probably heard this already if you're watching this sort of video, thumbnails and titles are really important, and also creating videos that people are actually looking for. People are searching for those videos, they need to find them, then that's what you do. You create a video that people are looking for, you create an interesting thumbnail, you create a relevant title, and people will click through. But with shorts, it's a little bit different because they're just on a short shelf and people are just flicking through them based on what YouTube's recommending. So it wasn't really clickbait in that way. And there is a gun in Dying Light 2 that you can hit people with, so it's not actually clickbait. It wasn't intentionally clickbait is what I'm trying to say, and I really didn't think this video was going to do very well. I also have this other one here, which you can see is very different. I published this, and on probably the first or second day, I can't remember exactly, it just suddenly shot right up, and I got an insane amount of views in a very short period of time. 240,000 views is a lot. Even my main channel, the maximum I have was about 700,000, I think, on my top video. But to get this in a day, essentially, is quite a task for a small channel, and good luck getting it on a normal video unless you manage to go viral or something. Points of interest here that you can take away is that you can see this where it basically went right up and then hit a plateau and now has done nothing at all since. I mean, it does a little bit. It probably a couple of views every day you can see at the moment. For example, it's had 12 views in the last 48 hours, whereas I basically got 240,000 views in a matter of hours when I first published it. This video is slightly different. It was titled Incompetent Armoru, which is a character in Rainbow Six Siege, and it was basically my friend playing that character and making a right hash of going about things. She just failed a couple of times and it was hilarious, and I found it funny, and I thought other people might find it funny, and they did, and it's got me 131 subscribers and obviously quite a number of views. Now, this isn't what happens every time, but I think it's an interesting talking point from these couple of videos, because these are obviously examples of the best videos. What I've actually found is, for the most part, that shorts don't really get me that much traffic. So here's another example that you can see. This one's from World War 3, and it's a 47-second clip of basically just gameplay from that, and it's entitled How to Deal with Snipers in World War 3. But it's just various different shots of craziness in that game, and it's only got me 2 subscribers, but you'll see it's only had 1,700 views, so nowhere near as much. What you'll also notice is, again, that it's plateaued. It basically goes up, it hits a sort of level where YouTube decides you don't deserve any more views anymore, and then you don't get anything else. And this is very frustrating experience. I believe that shorts are the same sort of logic as normal videos, in that the more percentage that's viewed, you can see on here the percentage viewed, the more it's shown. Obviously, if people are liking it and commenting it and watching it, then that's obviously very helpful, and that will help keep it in the short shelf and keep the impressions for it. So obviously it's still creating engaging content that's a bit more interesting. You'll notice the difference here is this is 47 seconds, so maybe that's too long. Maybe shorts might be better at 20 seconds, or as I showed already with that one, yeah, 20 seconds or less, which is obviously very short, but it will be very engaging. And if you get the sort of interesting points right at the beginning, then that's going to work. Now, all of this is useful, I think, because it obviously shows that you can grow your channel quite quickly by getting quite a few subscribers from shorts, and even the ones that don't do that well still get me a trickle of subscribers. So over time that will help grow things. You can see, for example, that this one's just got 1,700 views, 2 subscribers. You know, it didn't take me long to put that video together. I was already doing it for the main channel videos. But the problem comes is that you not only need 1,000 subscribers in order to get monetized, but you also need the watch hours. And you can see here that I only have 3,048 public watch hours at the moment. And the drama here is that shorts do not count. I talked about this frustration before. Shorts do not count towards your watch hours. So that means that I cannot get monetized until I have more. And you could see, for example, this is 1,800 watch hours on that short video, and those aren't counted towards it. So if they were, I would have hit that time ages ago. This is a real frustration, and it annoys me about YouTube treating like this. The other point of interest is naturally that shorts aren't monetized anyway, so even if I was monetized, I wouldn't be making money from these videos. So shorts are a great way to grow your channel. They are not a great way to earn money. YouTube is apparently working on the funds to sort that out, and in the long term you might find it, but shorts basically need to be mixed in with other things in order to do well. So I want to talk now about standard videos. Now this is a video that I did for Dying Light 2. It's about the biomarker safe code. There's a quest where you have to open a safe, and I basically did a video on how to open that safe because it was frustrating for me and I wanted to show people how to do it. So it was a reasonably short video. It's 3 minutes long. It talks about that to do and how to do it and where you find it and other things. And you can see it's getting about 130 views a day. I published it a fair old time ago, 84 days ago, and it is getting a trickle of views every day. And more importantly, this video is also generating the watch time hours. So I've got 500 hours out of this video, and obviously that is key because that is obviously going to help me get the watch time hours. So for the most part, this channel is mostly about gameplay videos. I regularly, probably every day or every other day at least, upload a video of my friends and I playing at the weekend different games. I've got World War 3, Rainbow Six Siege, Ready or Not, Dying Light 2, all sorts of different games uploaded, maybe too many different games. Obviously this isn't advice on what you should do on your channel, and some people might dedicate themselves to one game and build an audience that way, and that might be preferable. Others might be variety streamers and content creators, which you probably say that I am, and putting different things out. But my point is, those gameplay videos don't get searched. They don't get many views at the moment. I get between 10 and 20 views on those videos at the moment, unfortunately. I think they're pretty good. I'm trying to make them better, but because they're not searched for, they are not watched very heavily, which is a shame, unfortunately. I think that I'll need to build an audience first in order to get people engaged with it. Also, the problem is that I am putting content out on Rainbow Six Siege. There's a lot of people already making Rainbow Six Siege videos that have been around a lot longer, that have a bigger, stronger audience, and so I'm basically a small fish in a big pond, which is a problem. If you're creating videos for a new game, then you might have an advantage. I have found, for example, that with Dying Light 2, when I started creating videos for that, I was one of the first. I did a few different videos that did pretty well initially and aren't doing so well now, but I've done one on like how to find the hoverboard Easter egg and things like that, that people seem to enjoy, and that picked up some traction, and again it did well. So my tips basically as a summary are: do shorts content whenever you can, make shorts videos and make them a lot of them. Also do tips and tricks videos for the games you're playing, because that will tick the boxes for what people are searching for. They'll find your channel, they'll view it, and that will get your watch time hours up and hopefully your subscribers as well. And also just create content that you enjoy. That's obviously the important part of it. Create things that you think people will enjoy and things that you want to watch. But just bear in mind that even when you hit that 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours watch time, shorts won't help with monetization. It's these longer videos, at the moment at least, which need to get monetized that will then earn you revenue. So I thought it might be worth showing you how I do my shorts videos. So essentially this is a standard clip that I have then recreated into a short video. So I have a collection of videos in here, which you'll be able to see.
Quite dangerous. I'm going to try not to burn them.
If I put it right down volume-wise just for a second, this is a standard clip. It's approximately 3 minutes long, 5 minutes actually. I capture these clips using Streamlabs OBS, or Streamlabs as it is now known, and I use the replay buffer. So I set a replay buffer to be constantly on, then I have a button combination that I press that then captures the clip and saves it. And so usually the last minute or so will be useful because I know something funny's just happened or whatever, so it's at the end here. I drag that into a main template that I have in Vegas Pro, and then I edit those down into long videos. And I then have a separate template which is essentially set up specifically for Pews. Now if you want to recreate something similar and create shorts videos, you can basically do this. So if you're using Vegas Pro, same sort of logic will probably apply in other editing software, but essentially what you need to do is have your project settings so that it's set up, and if you look here, you can see that its width is 1080 and the height is 1920, and I'm using it at 60 frames a second as well. That's one part of it. That's an important part of that. So the project properties need to be set to that. Instead of 1920 by 1080, which would usually be your 16:9 format, we're looking at 9:16 instead. So it's 1080, 1920 is what we want as the property. I have this set up as a specific template for shorts specifically, so I can put the clips into here and then edit them down. But you also need to crop your videos. So the next stage of this is essentially to take your landscape video and put it into a short style content. So what we need to do is basically to use pan and crop to format it, so you're cropping it in to the portrait size. Now you can see that I have a base canvas which is 2560 by 1440 because I was capturing 1440p footage. You might well be capturing 1080p. I wanted to capture 1440, so it'll be a better quality, but that's not necessary. You could capture 1080p, and then what you would do is obviously change the width here to 1080 and then the height to 1920, so it basically inverts things. But because it's slightly different, what I'd need to do is to basically change this, and I've found that the best setting is 800 by 1440. Then once that's complete, then I'll have our clip in the right format, and essentially what I will do is it will just play like this. I'm going to just turn the volume down briefly, but you can see this one's about 50 seconds, so it's probably a bit too long. The main crux of it happens around here, which is essentially where we just managed to take down somebody. And then I use a blowtorch on, which is just meant to be amusing. It's not something you're meant to use a blowtorch for, so it's just a silly clip. But obviously we have this in that sort of format where it isn't going to fill up the entire large landscape screen. Now the thing to do now is to render this clip. So we need to click into render as. And I actually have, again, some profiles set up specifically for this. So I have a render customized template that's set up for this to make sure that it renders in the same format. So you can see here, under the frame size, it's set as a custom frame size because generally most of the other options are set to be 1920 by 1080. And obviously we want the other way around. So you'd set it as width as 1080 and the height as 1920. That's the basic settings of what you need to do, and obviously make sure the frame rate is the same. So I've taken a 1440p video and I put it into a 1080p project, but the other way around, a 1920p project, I suppose, in a portrait format. And then I've applied a pan and crop to it to crop it in so it's the right size. And then I'm rendering it out to make sure that it renders out. And you can see one of the final clips as they export, and obviously you can check to make sure that it looks as it should, and that's what the end result is, this clip here. And then my standard gameplay clips are this full format of 16 by 9. So I have a 10-minute video that I upload, which is just a compilation of various different stupid clips, and then these short ones, which are those big clips cut down to just show basically the funniest part of that. This is obviously what to do in Vegas Pro. It might be slightly different in other software, but hopefully this has been a useful insight. If you found it useful, or if you just love watching me and the shenanigans, then please check out my gameplay channel and subscribe to it and watch the long form content because it will really help me get to monetization. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, hilarious, or otherwise. Take a look at these other videos that I think you might find interesting as well. And have a look at the description for links and other information you might find useful. Click that join button to see the benefits of being a member of my YouTube channel. And most importantly, have a great life.